All right, so we need to find the slope. So we have negative 4 minus 1 over um, 3 minus negative 2 would turn it to plus 2. So I have negative 5 over 5, which gives me negative 1. And then now I'm going to plug that into my slope intercept, or that my point slope form. So I have y minus my y1, which is 1, equals negative 1 times x minus x1 was negative 2, so that turns to plus 2. Then I need to solve it for slope-intercept form. So I'm going to distribute this negative 1 through my parentheses, and I get negative 1x minus 2, because negative 1 times positive 2 is negative 2. And then y minus 1 just comes down. Then I'm going to add 1 to both sides, and I combine like terms. So I have y equals negative 1x minus 1. You could use the other set of points and you'll still get this answer. Okay, so then, again, I need to find my slope. So 3 minus 5 over negative 3 minus negative 5, which gives me positive. So 3 minus 5 is negative 2 over negative 3 plus 5, which is positive 2. That gives me a slope of negative 1 again. Then I'm going to plug that in. So y minus my y1, which was 5, equals negative 1 times x minus my x1, which is negative 5. So that turns that to plus 5. I'm going to add 5 to both sides. Oh, no, I'm not. I made a mistake. I need to distribute through the parentheses first. So I get negative 1x minus 5 equals, and then bring down what I haven't used yet. Now I can add 5 to both sides, and that gives me y equals negative 1x plus 0, or you can just leave it as y equals negative 1x. Alright, so you've finished parasailing and are being pulled back into the boat. So parasailing is when you have a rope hooked to a parasail, which kind of is one of these things, and you're hanging from it. And that way when the boat goes, you take off and you can kind of float in the air. So after 2 seconds, you are 25 feet above the boat. At what height are you parasailing? Or were you parasailing? So 2 seconds, I was at 25 feet. And in the picture you can see it told us that our slope is 10 because it's 10 feet per second. However, it's actually negative 10 because they're pulling us back to the boat. So our height is lowering as they pull us to the boat. So it's negative 10 feet per second. So now I'm going to plug in to my equation for point slope form. So I have y minus my y1, which was 25, equals my slope, which is negative 10, times x minus 2. That was my x1. And then I want to know my initial height. So how high was I when we first started parasailing? So I'm going to find my y-intercept, which means I need to put it into slope-intercept form. So I'm going to distribute that negative 10 through the parentheses. So I have negative 10x plus 20 and bring down the other side of that equation I haven't touched yet. I'm going to draw my line, and then I need to solve for y. So I'm going to add 25 to both sides. And when I add it to both sides, I combine those like terms that both don't have an x. So 20 plus 25 is 45. And bring down my other term that had a variable. And so this tells me that my y-intercept, which is my initial height, you were 45 feet when you first started parasailing.